various social media platforms. Today, if many of you would be knowing about the Paramashivam program, which is happening where all the participants are going through the various deeper levels of the preparation to achieve the state of Bhagavan Kalabhairava. And today the participants are going through the processes of the death process where we overcome the fear of death itself. The participants went through many sessions where they completed with their fears, they completed with many of the patterns and fears about death that they have. And Swamiji has blessed all of us also to get ready and receive the darshan of Bhagavan Kalabhairava. So again, we welcome everyone who is here to this beautiful Bhava Samadhi Darshan preparation, introduction to the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of Bhagavan Kalabhairava. Just before we enter into the preparation, let us see a short introduction about our beloved Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and learn more about our beloved Swamiji. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, or as we call our beloved Swamiji, was born in the holy town of Tiruvannamalai on the 3rd of January 1978. On the 13th of July, at the age of 3, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was initiated into the Chaturmasya, the Bala Sannyas, the child monk. As you can see in the left side, you can see the picture of Swamiji in his first Chaturmasya, which is the practice which the sannyasis go through during the auspicious time between the Guru Purnima and Navaratri. So you can see the picture of Swamiji and all of the Nithyananda, sorry for the technical glitch. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as we were explaining, was identified as an incarnation by the enlightened beings. As you can see in the picture, the various enlightened beings in the auspicious divine ecosystem of Tiruvannamalai, Arunachala, which is in southern India. And one of the few of the prominent gurus of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the enlightened masters, are the 230th Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tondai Mangaladinam of the Kanchi Mutt, and Vidwan Panduranganar and Yogiraj Yogananda Puri are just few of the examples of the various gurus that had trained our beloved Swamiji at such a young age to revive the whole of Kailasa. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as at the age of 3, he was identified as the one to lead the whole humanity into the next level of consciousness, to revive the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. At the age of 16, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the head of the Adi Arunachala Sarvanyapita, the sacred seat of Hinduism in the holy town of Arunachala itself. So here you can see the various ornaments and the materials given for the succession of the throne, such as the Kamandalu and the Yogadanda, were given to him by his guru, Mataji Vibhudananda Puri. So after the age of 16, you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism drastically took the whole of Kailasa to a whole new level, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism just in a few years began the first temple monastery in Tiruchengodu in southern India. And in 2002, the Supreme Pontiff eastern headquarters of Kailasa, which is the Adi Kailasa Sarvanyapita in Biddi, Bengaluru in Karnataka. At the age of 4, in 2004, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began the world tour, the Vijaya Yatra, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism went all over the world to spread the science of enlightenment and connect the ideology of Kailasa throughout the globe. And here you can see the various programs and conventions that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself conducted during the early years in the mission. Here we can see the snapshots from the Kumbh Mela, the program which happened for over tens of thousands of people who came to receive the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in such a spiritual kshetra such as the Kumbh Mela, one of the largest gatherings of humanity in the globe for a religious event. Here you can see a consolidation of the various coronations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at the young age, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kanchi Kailasa Sarvanyapita, the Tondai Mandala Adhinam, the emperor being ordained as the emperor of the Surya Vamsha Surangi Samrajyam, the present 23rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adhinam, another very prominent monastic kingdom in southern India, the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Kailasonnata Shamalapita Sarvanyapitham, based in Madurai, the sacred city of Devi Meenakshi herself, the present Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the largest apex monastic order, and the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of the Atal Akhada, and of course elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 spiritual leaders. To give a brief introduction about the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, Kailasa is a macrocosmic, ancient Hindu enlightened civilizational nation whose vision is living enlightenment for all of humanity. Kailasa's mission is to revive and share with today's world the practical applications of the greater sciences of authentic Hinduism, including Hindu cosmic physics, Hindu alchemy, Hindu cosmology, Hindu biology, Hindu mathematics, power manifestation, and the other sciences as revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. These sciences were once practiced freely in over 56 Hindu nations across the continent, but are now facing extinction due to the persecution over a millennium. Here we can see the various initiatives of the Sri Kailasa, where Sri Kailasa has mapped towards the sustainable development goals of the United Nations and created over 108 initiatives for various aspects and various problems that the humanity is facing in today's world, including the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for women empowerment, for holistic healthcare, for freedom of opinion and expression against cyber terrorism, and it supports a variety of humanitarian services which allows for the creation of an enlightened, peaceful, sustainable, resilient, and thriving world. Here we can see one of the major initiatives which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has blessed the world, the No Hungry Home Project, where Sri Kailasa's Uniting Nations for Nutritious Food and a Hunger-Free World has served over 1 billion meals over the past 27 years, and over 10,000 meals are served daily at the free of cost, and over 100,000 meals on festival days. So here we can see the various pictures where directly the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself is initiating all of these initiatives across the globe to help humanity and for the betterment of the communities across the globe. Of course, as all of us know, in the past few years, we have been having a difficult time due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And during this difficult time, Sri Kailasa's Uniting Nations for Affordable and Holistic Healthcare has converted all the monasteries of Kailasa into a multi-layer quarantine facility where the food, shelter, and basic needs of all people, regardless of any differences in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or socioeconomic status, are given free of cost. So here we can see few of the pictures from those multi-layer quarantine facilities in Kailasas across the globe. Another one huge initiative of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which he has blessed, is the Sri Kailasa's Uniting Nations for Education, where Nithyananda Hindu University and Nithyananda Gurukul, the largest Hindu university, and reviving the ancient 20 million attendees have enrolled in over 7,000 free courses and extended campuses in over 150 countries. In the year of 2006, and from then, thousands or tens of thousands of children have received the enlightenment-based education, which helps not only in a better education, but in all aspects of a child's life. It is improved the memory, the lifestyle, and the whole consciousness of the children themselves. Of course, to revive the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, the scriptures which Bhagavan Paramashiva has directly given, and the various gurus all over the globe, and the Vedic rishis who have given such a large volume of knowledge, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been preserving, collecting and reviving all of those texts through the Nithyananda Hindu Jnanalaya, where over 1 million scriptures, Hindu scriptures, have been collected and preserved, while ensuring that that knowledge is made accessible and shared free of cost to all. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself has authored over 10,000 books and articles in over 50 languages, and also given over 10,000 hours of free discourses with over 1 billion views. Kailasa's Hinduismpedia, another beautiful initiative, where over 15 terabytes of digital books and rare manuscripts from all 19 Sarvangapithas, ancient mats and ashrams have been collected, and over 1 million pages on Hinduism, the collection of thousands of digital books, e-text books, and articles have been collected on various topics of Hinduism, which is available to the public free of cost and for all to read and enjoy. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also conducted many confluences for world peace, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has conducted peace walks, the minutes for peace meditations, and another important aspect in our Vedic Sanatana Hindu Dharma is the woman empowerment, where Sri Kailasa's Uniting Nations for Feminine Empowerment and Gender Equality have established special Kailasas across the globe just to revive the ancient grandeur of how the women used to live during the Vedic period, who were empowered to literally be pillars of the Vedic society. Kailasa's Yogini Sarvanyapita is one such example, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established one of the largest yoga and meditation universities to empower the quality of life and emphasize on life solutions through the Vedas and Agamas, empowering the indigenous rural women, fighting against wrongful gender stereotyping, gender-based violence, and lack of inclusive and quality learning environments. Some of the initiatives include Kailasa's Nithyananda Lakshmi, a microfinancing service, and Kailasa's Women Foundation, which is launched in over 108 places across the globe since 2009. Sri Kailasa's Ankita program, providing foundational literacy about working of basic community service and infrastructure establishments, and Kailasa's Ashraya program, providing vocational training programs to rural and indigenous women to provide equal opportunities and access to independent, self-sufficient financial environments to them. Also, when you look at Hinduism, one of the main aspects of Hinduism is, of course, the yoga, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the yoga from the authentic ancient Hindu scriptures directly revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva himself and all the lineage of the Vedic rishis and the saints in Hinduism, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived and restored and given to the world free of cost over 108 kriyas, which target to heal the major diseases or disorders such as diabetes, arthritis, blood pressure, etc. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the ancient traditional forms of yoga, such as the pole yoga, the Shivastambha yoga, and rope yoga, in which yogic asanas and weight balancing techniques are performed to create the yogic physiology, aligning it to the cosmic geometry that manifests superconscious powers. In this effort, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also received various Guinness World Records for the largest rope yoga session and the pole yoga classes, bringing worldwide attention to these extraordinary forms of yoga. Despite the heavy persecution which has continuously been sorry for the technical glitch. Despite the heavy persecution that has been happening to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously for over a decade, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is unwavered in his intention, commitment, and action in building the only Hindu nation, the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, to protect Hinduism, the most ancient, most peaceful, still living, and long-lasting demonstrable system that shows the possibility of peaceful coexistence amongst people. Also, you can see the various recognitions that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has received across the globe from various government entities, the various statesmen across the globe. Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Kailasa spoke on behalf of the 2 billion global Hindu diaspora at the 14th session of the United Nations Forum on Minority Issues. The ambassador of Sri Kailasa to the United Nations, His Excellency Sri Nitya Moksha Priyananda, represented the persecution of Hindus at the United Nations Forum. This was the first time the plight of the persecuted Hindu minorities was represented in the United Nations and was brought to the world awareness, the ongoing and systematic
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivam.
Yes, a warm welcome to all the participants. For now, we're going to be entering into the manifesting Shaktis segment of the program. So first, we're going to see the what is the manifesting Shaktis. So beautifully, Bhagavan Paramashivam has given these Shaktis to us in from the Agamas, and now we'll be seeing the difference between the Shaktis and Siddhis. So Siddhis, on one hand we have the Siddhis, and on the other we have the Shaktis. The Siddhis are powers that come during the process, during the journey to enlightenment. But Shaktis, on the other hand, they are the direct manifestation of Paramashiva. When we come to the space of Paramashivoham, the powers and the expression that happens is the Shaktis. So we have four pramanas: the Shastra Pramana, Apta Pramana, Atma Pramana, and the Pratyaksha Pramana. The Shastra Pramana are the scriptural references of all the powers that directly in the source scriptures, the Vedas. What Paramashiva has revealed about each power in the scriptures, which is the Vedas and Agamas, is the Shastra Pramana. The Apta Pramana is the direct experience of the time-tested and foolproof experiences of the Vedic rishis and enlightened masters who have come before. The Atma Pramana is the direct experience of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, his personal life experiences, and how he manifested the power. The Pratyaksha Pramana is the scientific research and scientific validations of each of these powers. And as we know, the science is still yet to catch up to the Vedic science. Now we are going to see the source of the powers. Paramashiva is the source of the powers. From Paramashiva, all these powers manifest. Manifesting Shaktis is the ultimate truth, which is the jnana mapped into your consciousness. Prajnana manifests as the possibility power of being prajnana. So this is a what Paramashiva has revealed about what the science of manifesting Shaktis is. Now we are going to see the pramana for the power of third eye reading. So the main pramana is the main power which we are going to manifest is the third eye, which is the power of third eye. From third eye, all the other powers manifest. They all are different expressions of the same one connection which Paramashiva has initiated us. So we are going to see now the Shastra Pramana for the power of third eye reading. The Shastra Pramana for the power of third eye reading comes from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 34, Dharana. The Sanskrit verse goes as Kapalantar manonyasya tishtan milita lochanaha kramena manaso dadyat lakshayet lakshyamuttamam. The translation is, by fixing the mind on one's inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any moving, having the eyes closed in succession, by that stability of the mind and the inner space through the power of third eye, one is directly able to see the ultimate goal, Lakshyam, by having the vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source, Paramashiva. So in this verse itself, beautifully we can see how Paramashiva has given us the beautiful instructions of the clear instructions of each step of how to manifest the power of third eye. So all the powers, we just go into that space of that succession into the third eye, into the space of oneness with Paramashiva. When we bring our eyes to the third eye and bring that oneness space with Paramashiva, all these powers manifest. Now we are going to be seeing the pramana, the apta pramana for the power of third eye reading. The apta pramana for the power of third eye reading is from the Mahabharata, the history that happened in the Treta Yuga, how Bhagavan Krishna had directly manifested this power for Arjuna, and how Bhagavan Krishna had initiated Arjuna into this power of third eye reading. When Arjuna requested Bhagavan Krishna to show his cosmic opulence, his Vishwarupa Darshana, the direct translation of the verse goes as, Krishna tells Arjuna, you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore, I grant you the divine third eye vision. Behold my cosmic opulence. So this is from the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita and the 8th verse, where Krishna is initiating Arjuna into the power of third eye reading. Next, we'll be seeing the Atma Pramana, how Swamiji manifested this power. In Swamiji's own words, the first experience that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degrees, in 10 directions, below me, everything I realized, not only I was able to see, I was able to feel and experience of that of me. So in this, Swamiji is saying that he was able to see all
not only
the
I was able
directions.
to
In all
see,
the
I was able
directions
to
he was able to
feel,
see, and he also was able to feel everything. He felt that
felt
oneness
that.
with all the objects around him. Next
skin
is
of the
the
stone
Pratyaksha
on
Pramana, the
rock
scientific
on which I was
study
sitting,
that
the
was
skin of
done
this
on
body,
the of Hinduism,
both carry
and
me
they had done
equally.
the, which is a scientific,
equally.
which is a risk to scan the brain.
Setting,
And when they had done that,
sun,
they were able to see
rising,
high
moon,
activity in the frontal lobe where the third eye is placed. So that is the Pratyaksha Pramana for the power of third eye. Now we'll be seeing the one of the variations of the power of third eye, which is the consciousness over matter. Consciousness over matter is the power where we connect to a matter, we connect to an object, and when we start feeling oneness with that object, we start to see that the object starts to move, like how we would move our own hand. When I move my hand, I'm able to feel that that part of my body is me. Connect to an object, we start to feel that very oneness with that object, and we are able to move it. The main goal of manifesting this power is not just to move an object or the control an object, but it is to get into that space of oneness and manifest our reality. So now we'll be seeing the Shastra Pramana for the power of consciousness over matter. It's from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 120, Dharana 95. Kvachid vastuni vinyasya shanay drishtim nivartayet tajnanam chitta sahitam devi shunyalayo bhavet. Beautifully, Paramashiva in this verse says, having fixed one's eyes on a particular object, Vastu, one should slowly withdraw the sight from that object as well as slowly eliminate the knowledge of that object along actions. Then, O Devi, one abides in Shunya, the state where there is nothing other than this exists, the state of all inclusiveness or infinity. So in this verse also we can see how the whole Vijnana Bhairava Tantra is actually 112 sutras, 112 verses, which gives detailed instructions of manifesting various different powers. In this sutra, Paramashiva says, by fixing one's eyes on a particular object, which is the matter which we want to put our consciousness on, when we fix our consciousness on that object, we slowly eliminate the thoughts and we start feeling that it is part of us. We are in oneness with that object. Then, when that happens, we come to the state of Shunya, which is the state of all infinity and all inclusiveness. And when that happens, we are able to manifest this power. So now, today we'll be manifesting the power of consciousness over matter. And for manifesting this power, I'll be moving the Atma Linga. I'll be making the Atma Linga stand on my hand. So recently we have seen how Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has initiated all of us into the power of making the Atma Linga stand. So when that power manifests, Swamiji said that automatically all our desires and whatever we want in our life will start manifesting, because at that very moment we start connecting with Paramashiva, we start connecting with the field, and we are able to be in that oneness. And when that happens, everything that we want automatically happens, because when we are Paramashiva, our Sankalpa becomes the Shiva Sankalpa and the Shiva Sankalpa becomes ours. So when that happens, when we are in the space of oneness, automatically all the auspiciousness happens in our life. So now just before we start the manifestations, we can see that first this Atmalinga is made of a crystalline material called spatika or quartz. And so when we place this on our hand, there is no way by any magnetic pull or any external force that we can make the Atmalinga stand. And also you can see in my hands there is nothing, and it's just only my hands are there. I don't have anything else on my palms. And also that we can see that there is also no glue or any sort of rope which is tied to the Atmalinga. So now I'll be projecting my hand in a close-up camera, and we'll all be able to see the manifestation happens. And when this happens, all of the other viewers who are watching us live now can also take this time to connect with the space of entanglement. And when I manifest this power, I will be directly connecting with Paramashiva to manifest this. So all of you can also take this time to manifest this power, or whatever desire you want. You can just write it down in a paper and sit intensely and chant the Mahavakya. So now we can see the Atmalinga is there, and this is a flat surface. It's a little cushion, so that the Atmalinga, as the Atmalinga is a very sacred object, we don't want to drop the Atmalinga or let it fall. So I'm placing the Atmalinga on my hand now, and I'm going to be chanting the Maha. I connect with Paramashiva in the space of oneness. Now I'm going to be chanting the Mahavakya, and as the Mahavakya goes, I will be connecting intensely with Paramashiva, and we'll be creating that space of entanglement. So everyone who's watching us live now can connect with this space, and whatever, if you want to manifest any powers or you want to manifest any realities, this is the best opportunity Paramashiva has given us. ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् 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 Yes. So now we have seen the manifestation. Now we have seen the manifestation of the power. Now all of us can also post whatever desire we wanted to manifest. We can post it in the chat, so that when we post it directly, this is Paramashiva's own ecosystem, and everything that we share here is directly going to become reality. So now let us all we'll all gather back after a short break. Thank you. Nithyanandam. And just before we move on to the next segment, we are going to be just giving a small announcement to all the viewers. For everyone who wants to have a real breakthrough in their life, the best opportunity that we are having is the Paramashivam sessions that are happening now. So let us all take this short time now to start creating that reality for us, because the main goal of all our life is to attain Paramashiva. It may be money, it may be other things, but we are mainly going focusing our energy to achieve that state of Paramashivoham. It may be the right way or wrong way, but at the end, our main life is to the main goal of our life is to attain Paramashiva. So now let us all take this beautiful opportunity to join the Paramashivoham program, which is the best place where we can get a direct and intimate connection, intimate time with Paramashiva, who is manifesting as the Nijavatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And we get this intimate time where everything that we want to manifest in our life, and ultimately Paramashivoham, which we want to manifest in our life, will be becoming reality. So let us take this beautiful opportunity. We are showing the QR code. You can scan that on your mobile phone and it will directly take you to the registration page. There you can go and create your intention. It is not that we are going to manifest our reality now, but when we make that intense decision, when we make that powerful, it's a big tata. You keep wanting money, I bless you that there. Let us scan it and we will register our
Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om 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 Nithyananda
Nithyananda, welcoming back all the viewers watching us live on YouTube, Facebook, and various social media platforms. So we just saw about the power manifestation, how Sri Nithya Paramashivam Maharaj manifested the power of consciousness over matter. And as Paramesha Maharaj beautifully said, all of us can manifest this power. Program that is going on right now. And today, as we are looking at the completion with
Today, Kalabhairava
here
Jayanti.
and receiving the darshan of Bhagavan Kalabhairava, let us see the introduction directly from our beloved Swamiji,
Assumed
the introduction to Bhagavan Kalabhairava. So let's all get ready to directly hear from our beloved Swamiji. Please sit to a space of deep listening and receive the direct truths from our beloved Swamiji.
Today, Kalabhairava Jayanti. Kalabhairava assumed the form of Kalabhairava. Mahadeva assumed the form of Kalabhairava and removed the false identity of Brahma and gave Shivoham experience to Brahma today. And such an auspicious day. And you also need to know, in original Vedic calendar, this is exact day I assumed the body. The Margazhi month, Ashtami Tithi, Krishna Bhaksha. That is exactly the time of my birth also. Traditionally, the birth is celebrated as per the nakshatra. So we are celebrating as per the nakshatra. But as per the Tithi, I am born exactly on the same Kalabhairava Jayanti. You may ask then, why are we celebrating Kalabhairava Jayanti as per Tithi? Traditionally, it is not somebody newly born as far as Kalabhairava is concerned. Mahadeva assumed that form and did that job and just again became himself. Because of that, we use Tithi for Kalabhairava Jayanti. If we use Tithi for my Jayanti also later on in course of time, it will be on the same day of Kalabhairava Jayanti, Kalabhairava Ashtami. Because Kalabhairava did not stay in that very form for a long time. He just, see, each of Mahadeva's action is considered as one incarnation. When he came out and destroyed Daksha and his Yajna, that action is Virabhadra. When he came out and destroyed the arrogance of Brahma and gave him Shivoham experience, that action is Kalabhairava. That is why Kalabhairava Jayanti is done as per the Tithi, not as per the Nakshatra. But any form which happens and exists, the Jayanti is